Let's open the book on this. Today in Taipei, the big headline is a magnitude 5.1 earthquake striking central Taiwan, and the aftermath might surprise you. I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Taipei.
All right, let's kick things off with this. A magnitude 5.1 earthquake struck central Taiwan on May 17th. The epicenter was east-northeast of Nantou County Hall. Intensity readings, which describe how strongly people feel shaking in a place, ranged from level 1 to 4 across Nantou townships and into Taichung, Hualien, and Miali. The focal depth was 15.5 kilometers. That's how deep the rupture was underground. And not gonna lie, the part that stood out to me most. There were no immediate reports of damage or casualties.
That's so wild. For anyone new to Taiwan's scale, intensity here goes from 1 up to 7. 1 is barely noticeable. 4 is moderate shaking that can rattle items. I'm honestly relieved those higher intensities stayed pretty localized. The distribution tells a story, right? Some areas can shake more than others, even from the same quake. Why is that?
Good question. It's a mix of distance from the epicenter, ground conditions like soft soil versus rock, and building types. Magnitude is the energy released. Intensity is how it's felt in each spot. So a 5.1 can feel mild in one area and sharper in another. Big picture, yeah, that checks out. But still, no immediate damage is a solid outcome.
Okay, let's move on. Daycare privacy concerns could trigger a nationwide strike in Taiwan. Child care groups say they may walk out in August over a new rule that infant care centers must upload surveillance video to a government-chosen cloud system. Cloud storage meaning off-site servers that keep backup copies of files. This requirement is part of the Child Care Services Act, which took effect on May 8th. Caregivers worry about privacy breaches, especially with sensitive moments like naps and diaper changes. The law aims to keep recordings mostly from public areas, hallways and classrooms, not bathrooms. But the groups argue rules aren't clear on who can access or request the footage, and that's a big sticking point.
Yeah, that hits different when we're talking about infants. For context, Cho Tao-chun, the Director General of the Social and Family Affairs Administration, says the system isn't live monitoring. It's meant as a backup for disputes or complaints. Still, who exactly holds the keys to that video, how long it's stored, and how it's protected? Those are make-or-break details. Why push it to the cloud instead of keeping it securely on site?
The stated goal is consistency and retrievability. If there's an incident, an independent backup can help resolve what happened. But I totally get the hesitation. Without crystal clear rules on access, retention, audit logs, basically, who looked at what and when, parents and caregivers will worry. Real talk, if those privacy guardrails get nailed down and are communicated plainly, this could calm a lot of nerves.
Next up, Taiwan junior high students are seeing regular classes replaced by heavy exam prep. A new survey from the Child Welfare League Foundation reports about 58.7%, nearly 60% of students say normal lessons got swapped out for test subjects. It's most intense for 8th and 9th graders. More than 80% said they take tests during morning homeroom. That's the first period check-in time that's usually for announcements or a calm start. The trade-off is hitting hard. Physical education and art classes get canceled for exam practice. Over half of students report moderate or serious fatigue. Nearly 20% sleep less than 6 hours a night, and only about 1 in 5 get at least 8. Some schools even label exams as practice to skirt limits. That's a lot of pressure from a tight syllabus across many subjects.
Let's get to the heart of it. Balanced education matters. Moving bodies and making art aren't extras. They keep brains sharp and spirits steady. I totally get the urge to push for better scores, but when fatigue piles up, focus and health drop. Why keep replacing whole classes instead of weaving prep into the normal schedule?
It sounds like schedule crunch meets entrance exam pressure. When the comprehensive assessment program looms, schools try to optimize every minute. But yeah, there's a line where gains flatten out and burnout takes over. That's something to chew on, huh?
Switching gears just a little. New driver training is coming for people whose licenses were revoked for more than 3 years. Starting June 30th, before reapplying, they'll need to complete driver training. Revoked means the license was taken away due to serious violations, not just a short suspension. The Ministry of Transportation and Communications says this aims to strengthen pedestrian safety and curb dangerous driving. Previously, drivers could just retake the exam. Now, refresher courses add practical hands-on time behind the wheel. This is part of broader changes to testing and retraining rules. And here's a number with weight. Roughly 10,000 drivers face long-term revocations each year.
I'm down for that. If someone's been off the road for years, habits get rusty. A structured course is like a tune-up. It rebuilds awareness and hopefully respect for crosswalks and speed limits. Not gonna lie, any measure that gives pedestrians more breathing room on the street is a win. All right, let's roll on. New Taipei's Danjiang Bridge had its first weekend rush. And wow, did people show up. Traffic slowed as drivers enjoyed the view. The bridge connects Tamsui and Bali and is a key route toward the northern coast townships. But pedestrians flagged a safety issue. Markings that should separate walkers from cyclists weren't super clear, which is a recipe for near misses. Quick note for heavy vehicles. Trucks of 15 tons or more face restrictions during peak weekend hours on the bridge. It only opened on May 12th, so some teething problems are expected. Still, clearer paint and signs go a long way when bikes and feet share space.
Let's not let this one slide. If the lines or icons aren't obvious, people hesitate, and hesitation on a shared path can cause collisions. Can we get quick fixes? Brighter lane paint, bigger symbols, maybe a few marshals during busy times? It's a beautiful span. Let's make sure everyone gets across it safely. Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett from Taipei.
Stay safe, stay curious, and come back tomorrow for more updates.